Hey everyone, it's Rob Golfi here with REMAX, the Golfi team, and we got Conrad Zurini here, REMAX Escarpment and REMAX Niagara, broker owner, and Mission 35, Brian Hogben of Mission 35 Mortgages. Guys, a lot of shit's been happening, and so what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about the October numbers, or you want to talk about the condo crap that's going on in Toronto?
Well, let's start with condo, and then we'll move to
You
October
got
numbers.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start with the fun stuff.
So what's happening? What's happening out there? Toronto's unsold condo rate has reached an incredible level. So I didn't know that. I found out in this article that the smallest condo they're allowed to build in Toronto is 260. I think it's 268 square feet. And
Yeah.
like, how big is 268 square feet? Is that a jail cell? Is that?
Yeah,
is that?
it's
Like it's
That's like a New York City apartment. I remember
Yeah,
going to
that's-
New York City and seeing where my buddy stayed. You need a Murphy bed in one of those. Remember the Murphy
Yeah.
bed?
yeah, that's
You
Yeah.
need
tiny.
something
It's
that
like
falls down there. That's tiny.
That's a
Tiny.
lot
like
of
two
room.
bedrooms, two like regular sized bedrooms put together. Like it's nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nothing. So
Yeah.
so they're struggling with that, but they're also struggling with the condo market, and it's because they've got a surge of condo market. Is this because of all the investors that just kept buying and buying and buying, and now they're stuck with them and they're trying to unload them?
Well,
What
yeah,
is it?
it's because I think you know what they worked with the middleman, right? So the builders, instead of going end user, they said, "Hey, we'll pitch this to the middleman." The middleman wants cheap. What does cheap mean? Cheap means small. And then by the time they take possession of these things, like nobody wants to live in them. So the micro condo or the condo it's considered dead, and that's even spilling into what we have, because you got micro condo owners in Toronto and Peel and Mississauga want to come to Hamilton, sell their condo. They're stuck. So we've got this little bottleneck of activity or non-activity, and here we are. But those units they're terrible. No one wants to live in that small space. It's very difficult to live in. Yeah.
So they were just trying to unload, try to get as much square dollars
Yeah.
per square foot in these condo buildings. Now, did they build any of these in Hamilton, Niagara? These tiny condos at all?
Yeah,
or-
there is. Yeah, there's some. Yeah, they're in North Oakville. They're in some not 260 square feet, but
No, but-
350, 500. Yeah, micro ones, 500. Yeah, 450. Yeah,
small.
yeah.
So I guess they're just like small, so small that like you said, we were talking about the Murphy beds going down on them. Like just going to bed at least seems like it's work. You know, usually when you go to bed now, you just go to bed. You just flop in there without having to do work to get into bed. But so like, do you think
It's a financing problem too, because even some lenders have square footage requirements.
Yeah, requirements.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's no lender that wants to finance a 250 square foot.
Oh, is that right? I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
Some lenders will have, they might go as low as a 550, 600, but like when you start getting below that, like we've even tried to say, hey, there's a storage locker for 20 feet. Can we add that to the square footage to get it financed? Like, we're trying to make exceptions. There's a balcony. There's something like, where can we get extra square footage?
But do these developers, when they started building these tiny condos, did they realize that like finance companies don't want anything to do with them, or they just built them and they didn't realize that till after?
People were falling over each other to buy. It was crazy, and they felt this was going to solve this huge immigration. Again, you got to remember a couple things happened at once. This immigration dropped, okay, and around universities, so they lost a lot of that tenancy that were living in those small spaces. But they came from areas, where they lived in small spaces already. But now, when you got consumers living in them, and and people starting a family, just getting married, no one wants to live in those. And like I think there was 360 units sold last quarter or something. Usually it's 4,000.
Wow.
There was an article that said in the month of September in Toronto, it was 155 condos, a 90% drop below the 10-year average.
Wow.
That is
no kidding.
That's low.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So they're even too small for a couple to live in. They're made for one person.
You got to really love each other, Rob. You got to really love each other to live in one of those.
They're made for one person. They have two pairs of jeans, one jacket, and two pairs of shoes. That's it. Because that's all you can fit in them.
And they can't be converted. But I will tell you this, like a lot of the new developments, I just saw something recently where it's two micro units smushed together and they have a common hallway. So the hallway is common, okay?
Yeah.
And it saves on space. And but yeah, like that's how they're going to be building these new units. And I've even talking about my next apartment's going to have 2 principal bedrooms with 2 ensuite baths, not shared. So because your most personal space is your bathroom. So people don't mind sharing a kitchen or a living room, but they don't want to share their bath.
You know
right?
what?
So,
and you would actually rent those out faster with 2 private bathrooms. Just because, because like who gets the ensuite and who gets the common bathroom, like I'll tell you, like especially when students are renting in Toronto, when they get 2 of them together to rent, like why, then all of a sudden they're fighting. Well, you're paying less money, you're paying the same as me, but you got your own private bathroom, all that kind of stuff. But how soon do you think? So we did the Win in Any Market event, and you were talking to
fabulous event though, Rob. I tell you. Fabulous event. Like you are an industry leader. I'm only remiss because I didn't tell that audience that what you're doing for the industry and for consumers, for everyone, because even the sound bites that come out are so impactful to people. So congrats to you.
Thanks.
Kudos to you.
I appreciate it. So we had Sal Guttarig, Director and Senior Economist at BMO Capital Markets, and Craig Casey, Regional Risk Manager. So they feel that that things will pick up probably sooner than we anticipate, and and they said that there will be eventually a shortage of homes. It's just right now we're just going through some changes in the world of real estate. So what's your
that's an important part to look at too, right? Because when we were just talking about those condos, right? Like everything is cyclical, and a lot of the economists say that as well too, right? So it's kind of like, you look at 5 to 10 years from now, that's going to be worth something. We're not going to be in a condo slump. We're not going to be in a condo problem in 5 to 10 years, right? And I think it's kind of like if you zoom out and we stop making decisions to buy a home for the next year or 2 years, like buy it for 5, buy it for 10, right? You can get some ridiculous deals right now. And it's to that point, things do go up, things do go down, they go back up.
And the immigrants. Go ahead. I was just going to say the immigrants, they take 3 to 5 years.
That's right.
Before they rent 3 to 5 years and then they buy. You got to think there's, we said in another show, there's 8.5 million immigrants in that category that are probably within the next year, they're in their 4th year and 5th year, and they're going to buy. So, they'd be the customer for some of those smaller units as well. Yeah.
Crazy. Do you think what was it? I just went blank at what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. But the do you think the condo market, like if you can you buy a condo today in Toronto, put your 20% down, rent it out, would it cover? It's going to be tough with the condo.
But we've seen some condos go below 400,000 in Liberty Village. Under 400, 375.
I was doing some numbers on that with 5, because I looked at, there's like 60, 70 condos around 300,000 in Hamilton right now. You buy it with 5% down. Like you talk about your first time home buyer here, 5% down, your legals, land transfer, you're 20 grand into it, get a 30-year mortgage at a variable rate of 3.7, you're paying $1,357 a month, $1,350, add on taxes, add on your condo fees. I think you're still cheaper than rent for a lot of those places. Yeah.
So there you go. There's opportunities.
And you got to look at price per square foot. I think price per square foot's critical because you can't bring on a building like with land costs and everything. Like no one can bring on a building for less than $800 a square foot or $700 a square foot. So if you're in the resale market, it's well with land, it's impossible, right? You had to buy the land like decades ago. So if you're talking, let's say 650, if things hit 650 a square foot in Toronto for condos, 650 to 700, you can't reproduce it. It's over. So that's how I always looked at real estate price per square foot. It's so important to me because if I can't recreate it, and if the delta, that's what it's all about. That delta between resale and new, as it goes like this, people jump to new. As it goes to this, everybody stays to resale. Right. So
No kidding. So anyway, guys, another thing. October numbers. What's going on? What happened there, Conrad? What's
Well,
like?
I got a strange theory here. I think it's the boys of October ruined everything.
Yes.
I think the World Series ruined real estate in Canada, man. I tell you, you know what? Every board I have it. As a matter of fact, this is probably like we must have had a lot of REMAX Escarpment Niagara people because we were down 9% over last October. Last October was pretty robust,
Right.
But every board, Toronto was down 12%, Niagara down 12%. And Hamilton was down 15%. The only area that was not affected was Halton. So that takes Burlington, Oakville, Milton. They were down only 1.5%. So, but we had not seen, every month we had, like last month, September was much higher than last September. So all of a sudden it's like a cliff. And there's no other indication that I can think of. None. That it just fell off a cliff.
You know what?
Right?
I think you're right on this, and it's hard to gauge those numbers. But I even noticed, and you were saying earlier, Brian, that parents were telling their kids to hurry up for Halloween. And and I'll tell you, there wasn't that many kids out for Halloween this year. Because
I think to Conrad's point, it's true. Like people were way more and great. It was cool. It was the Jays. But on Halloween, I've got a kid that's super excited to go out, and every single parent that I saw was like, "You're done at 7:30, Bucko. Hurry up, run as fast as you can." Everybody wanted to watch the World Series, so I think everybody
people were they were having their parties or their get-togethers and everything. It was a Friday night. And this was game 6 or
6 on the Friday night. Yeah, 6 on the Friday night.
It was game 6 on the Friday night, and everybody was just hyping up for that and all that kind of stuff.
And you got to remember the other series before it too. It still had the same kind of ramifications.
No kidding,
right? Yeah,
so
go. I will say
go
one
ahead.
thing. No, I'll tell you one thing. The showing and sales data showed something very interesting. There was a drop in showings, but I will tell you the amount of engagement, the amount of I did the last 5 years of the same period, we had more people pulling the trigger faster during that week period. So if you were out, you weren't a Jays fan and you were making a decision, right?
Yeah.
It was the best engagement we've seen since 2020,
Wow.
the same period, the same couple of days. More engagement than ever. So people were pulling the trigger much better than they did in the last 6 years. Right?
No kidding. Okay.
Yeah. So it's fascinating.
And I was trying to get those numbers to see because Heather on our team, we were trying to say, we're going like this, Rob, there's got to be something to do with the Blue Jays. Like the month of October, like we're going,
100%.
What's going on with the sales?
Yeah.
And we're looking at it and we were trying to figure out the numbers. We were trying to actually figure out other numbers like I think, was it, not sure if it was hockey but basketball to see if that was an effect.
Yep.
But because this was like the Blue Jays has been around longer than the basketball Raptors. It just I think there was a more of a this is the Canada team for baseball and I'm not saying the Raptors aren't, but I think more people were into the Jays than they would have been into the Raptors. So I do believe that it did have an effect, and it had effect for Halloween because I thought, what's going on? I got no more kids doing Halloween. Maybe I know we have a high immigration, and they probably look at Halloween like an evil thing. But it'll
be interesting to see next week. But you know what? Too, I think you've got the not the war, but I would tell you the fanship, with Halton only being down 1.9. Maybe we're going to see. They're better Raptors fans, like Halton Peel, maybe, right? The rest of the area more traditionalists. They're more about the Jays.
Yeah.
There's so much heat mapping and so much number crunching and tabulation to be done on this. I tell you, it's going to be fascinating. We're going to see it in the next couple of weeks. And we're already seeing anecdotally, people are telling me things are being popped up, pop in the first week of November. So we'll see in the next 2 weeks, right?
Awesome. Guys, listen, I appreciate your time, and thanks for everybody listening to what's happening in real estate this week. We've got always stuff happening, and keep listening. Look us up on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and all the other platforms, and just follow us. And we've been doing this for over 3 years, guys, so this is not just one night. Over 3 years.
This
That's
ain't a
awesome.
one-night stand. This ain't a one-night stand.
This is a
anymore.
relationship.
I have no hair left by the time we're done. It's all
That's
gonna
it.
be gone.
We're gonna. You know what? We should look back 3 years ago, see how we actually look like.
Do it.
Yeah, you're right.
We'll look
That's
at it.
good.
Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Take care. Have a great, great
Thanks,
day.
guys.
Ciao.
That's funny.